Hey guys, what's going on? It's time to answer the 5 questions that were posted this week, so let's get right into it. First question comes from Cynthia, and she asks, what kind of strengthening exercises do you recommend for someone with OI type 3 who is wheelchair bound? Well, Cynthia, my simple take on exercising, no matter what type of OI you have, is this. There is no specific exercise for OI. What it is finding exercises that work for you and modifying them so you can do them within your abilities. So with that answer, it really does come down to finding exercises and then modifying them for yourself. The point is you want to keep moving. You want to get moving. You want to do the actual function of the exercise so that your muscles start to move. So it could be something as simple as curling for, doing arm curls. And, maybe you start with no weights. And then maybe eventually pick something up like your phone. And then maybe, a can of food. And then maybe a dumbbell that's 2.5 pounds. You never know. But the point is you just got to start doing that movement and modify it. It may sound strange, but you can find any exercise and really modify it to what you want and what you're capable of doing. When I started, I would look at P90X, and I see Tony Horton and all these kids jumping around doing crazy stuff. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. That's crazy. But what I did was I modified certain exercises, and I would at least do the motion of them. And that was the whole point. I needed to get my brain connected to the muscles so that they would know what is that motion. And then eventually, as I kept doing it, I got stronger. And then I would eventually be able to do the exercise as Tony Horton would do it. Maybe not exactly like Tony Horton does it, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you just have to start moving, and you got to start doing those exercises. So I can get you some exercises. Hit me up and we can definitely talk about it. Even being wheelchair bound, moving your legs is important. You got to do leg extensions. You got to strengthen your legs. You got to do some calf exercises and some knee raises and stuff, so you can work those muscles. You just have to modify those exercises. So we can definitely talk about it. Just hit me up directly, but just know that there is not an OI specific exercise. They are all exercises that are modified for us as OIers, and even if we don't have OI, even if we're just limited in abilities, but every person is going to have different abilities, and every exercise is going to have to be modified differently. So that's where I can help. You can definitely hit me up. Next question comes from Anessa. She says, what portion size / calories per day should smaller OIers be eating? What I mean is, should our portions / calorie counts be smaller because we're smaller? Or should we be consuming the same amount as an average size adult? It's a great question, and the simple answer is you are going to have a different calorie count than somebody else. They say that there's this average of 1,200 calories per day, but that's just like literally an average. It does not count for everybody. And being smaller, you will require less calories. There's a lot of numbers and calculations involved because there's a lot of factors involved. It's about your resting metabolic rate. It's about your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, and that's what you're trying to figure out. But it all involves your height, your weight, your age, and whether you're male or female. So there's all different numbers that are kind of involved on the scientific side behind it, and it's a huge calculation that needs to be done. Hit me up directly and I can help you out, or anybody else that wants to get their information or their calorie counts. And I can give you a good estimate of what you're using per day just to maintain and survive. And then based on that number, you can decide, well, do I want to lose a little weight? Then I'm going to make sure I come under my calories. Am I exercising? Then you're going to think about that, and you're going to count that in as far as how much you're eating. And if you're trying to gain weight and gain muscle, you're going to need to eat more than what your daily requirement is, and plus working out. But it's different for everybody. But the bottom line is, if you're smaller, you're definitely not going to require the same amount of calories. It's just, that's what it is. But it is a big calculation. It's not just saying, oh, I'm going to eat 700 calories. You don't want to do that. That's not healthy. So anybody that is interested, go ahead and hit me up, and I can help you figure out those numbers. Next question comes from Liliana, and she says, hi Tony, for a 7-year-old, type 1 but presents as type 3, do you have daily nutrition musts and daily exercise recommendations? Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm not sure what you mean by type 1, but presents as type 3. Does that mean that he's in a wheelchair? Maybe a little smaller? Not sure. That specifics we would have to talk about. Also, he's a kid. He's 7 years old. There's no really exercise program that I would say, or specific exercises, but I would say that you want to keep him active. You want to get him out moving and doing stuff so that, those muscles are getting worked, because that's super important. And then the other aspect of it is making sure that the nutrition is straight. I don't think there's any nutrition musts. I think that the one must is, eating good food, eating clean food, not eating the processed stuff, stuff that's low in sugar, eating veggies and fruits. I mean, that's so important, especially as kids are growing up, whether they have a disability or not. You want to make sure that he's getting the right nutrition. I'm sure that, medically, a doctor will tell you there's certain things that can be done, and of course there's certain treatments for OI that can be done. But as far as nutrition and exercise is concerned, eat the right stuff, feed him the right stuff, and then also make sure that he's just getting out there and being active and getting moving. Even in a chair, just getting out and pushing himself around and doing stuff, being active, getting the metabolism going, and that's going to help to make the muscle stronger, and which eventually makes the bone stronger as well. I mean, everything gets stronger when we're moving and when we're exercising. So I hope that answers your question. Our next question comes from Drew, and he says, "You answered one of mine last time, so feel free to skip me." Well, you know what, Drew? I'm not skipping you. I'm going to answer the question. Tony, how do you stay motivated to work out when you're feeling sore, tired, or generally unmotivated? I find it easy to tell myself that I am in pain, general OI stiffness, and joint pain, and skip the gym. But I'm pretty sure that's keeping me from achieving the best possible results. Well, Drew, to stay motivated through the soreness, you have to remember, and my trainer taught me this, he said, soreness is weakness leaving the body. It's crazy. That one little statement changed my whole outlook on it. Because when you think about that, when you think about being sore and it's just your weakness leaving your body, it's absolutely true. We're getting stronger as we're working out. And when we work out, we are going to be sore. We're tearing muscles, we're doing things that are making us stronger, that are going to make our body sore. But it's okay, because that's part of the process. You have to be okay with being in that soreness and knowing that you got to get back into the gym. Huge difference between being injured and being sore, which I'm sure you probably know, but maybe a lot of people don't know. You want to make sure that you're exercising properly, which is my number one rule. Make sure you're exercising properly so that you prevent injury. And if you do get injured, then make sure you get it looked at and take some time off, whatever you need to do. But if it's just sore, if you think you're sore, like you said in your question, that's a whole different story. And then the other part is making sure that what you're doing outside of the gym is properly being done. Like you're eating right, you're drinking enough water, you're getting enough sleep, and you're taking care of yourself as soon as you're done with your workout so that your body can regenerate faster, so that you can get through that soreness and have less soreness, so that you can get back in the gym and keep motivated and keep going and feeling stronger. This group is great because you can always come on here and talk about feeling sore and about feeling unmotivated, and everyone here is going to pump you up. I see it every day, and I love it when I get a little stressed out and I don't feel like working out. So this group is great for that, and just talk about it. Just talk about it, and you will get the support that you need to get back in the gym. Last question comes from Elena. She says, Tony, the best exercise for a waist. I am type 1 and usually have 15 to 20 minute morning routine before jumping into a car for a long day on campus. Well, Elena, first of all, when you say a good exercise for your waist, do you mean your core, like you're trying to get stronger, or are you trying to lose fat that's around your waist? Because losing fat is going to be different than just strengthening your core, although they kind of go hand in hand as well. If you're talking about just burning some of that fat, then you're talking about nutrition. You're talking about making sure you're eating right, and then you're making sure that you build in some sort of exercise into your into your life, whether it's in your daily routine in the morning or when you get home. But you need to do some exercise so that you start to burn that fat, because that's what's going to help to get your metabolism up and start burning that fat. But you got to make sure that you're eating properly as well. If it's about your core, then again, it's about the exercise. You got to make sure you build in time for exercise into your life. What I could suggest right now is on your drive to work, make sure that you do this exercise, which is bracing. And it's something that you do when you're doing exercising, but it's just, tightening your abdominals and holding it for like 30 seconds and then letting go. It's called bracing, and you can do this in the car. So if you're in traffic or you're just driving, as you're driving, just tighten up, sit straight, tighten your core, deep breath, hold it, and then let it go. And just kind of feel it all around here. It's going to start to work your core even while you're in the car. So I hope that helps. With a little more specifics, I can help even more. So hit me up directly if you have any other questions about it. All right, that's it for the Ask 5. I hope that the answers were informative and helpful for everybody. I'll be doing it again, so please post your questions when I do post up and look for those questions. Also, please visit my website, disablemydisability.com. I have a lot going on over there. Check out the Let's Get Healthy page. I am definitely getting out there and spreading the awareness of OI and just living a healthy life in general, living a healthy life despite having a disability, and really living the healthy life that we deserve. So help me spread the word so we can get out there and bring more awareness to everything that we're talking about. That's it for now. Let's get out there, break some barriers, not bones. We'll see you next time.